Number 5, Old Baeworth's Tavern. In pretty much every fantasy story, the tavern is the place to meet new people and hear things that move the plot forward. So at Old Baeworth's Tavern, we overhear a conversation giving us our path to Chapter 3. It is a tavern, it's boisterous, it's crowded. You can hear in the track, it starts with this door sound. We're entering the tavern. There's all these people. And what we're trying to do is sort of stay out of everybody's way. So that's more difficult than it sounds because it's pretty rowdy in there. And that's represented in the music with constant tempo changes. So you can see in the first section here, let me switch my screen to share. This is the viola noble version of Old Baeworth's Tavern. You can see there's accelerandos and ritenutos all over the music. Eventually it just says, ride the sway of the room. Basically, good luck, figure it out yourself. So before you attempt to play with this very kind of loose rhythmic track, I would recommend just being very confident in all of the rhythms in a stable, steady tempo, just away from the track. The rhythmic content here covers pretty much every combination of 6/8 and 3/4 that you can find. There's polyrhythms here. So 6/8 and 3/4 is always one of those ones that I think we all get confused at some point. So I recommend keeping the 6/8 feel. Bum 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 bum. It's got sort of a Renaissance vibe. That's in the harmonies. And even when it gets into bar, for example, let's say bar 15, I think it's still good to feel 6/8 so that you feel the polyrhythm across that meter. So if I start in bar 13 here at the accelerando, is that an E flat? Ba 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 bum 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 bum. So you're always keeping that big 2 feel no matter what the rhythm is. Once you are ready to play with the track, you could definitely play with the practice tempos. Again, 60%, 80%, and 90% of full tempos. Eventually, at the time of this recording, there are no click track recordings, but I am in the process of making those, so those might exist in the practice tempo playlist at this point. But just to hear a little bit of, let's go to the end of the play along so we can see how extreme these tempo changes are. So it gets pretty wild. I would listen for the percussion, specifically the higher sounding like hi-hat or bells, or I don't remember what I used, tambourine, maybe shakers. That will help you feel the subdivision in there. Bar 66, improvised cadenza on G7. There's basically silence in the track. The band that you're playing with in this tavern is waiting for you to show off a little bit. So you can write out a solo on your own. You can just play G if you want. A G7 chord is a G dominant chord, which contains the notes G, B natural, D, and F natural. If you wanted to play a scalar type thing in there, you could think C melodic minor. So basically C major, but with an E flat. And then again, at bar 67, you'll have your cue for the track to come back in. At bar 31, 2, 3, this is in the form, the same place as here, but there's no improvised cadenza. You're holding this for a fermata, and again, you'll get 1 bar of track to bring you back into here. The track makes it very clear where to play, in my opinion. And this one in particular, number 5, has a real big difference in difficulty between the noble and the legend. As you can see, much, much harder. We've got triple stops. We've got super crazy, very fast arpeggios. I'm still practicing this one. So demo coming soon at the time of this recording. Don't know if I've made it yet, but again, if you want to demo playthrough playlist has eventually all of my renditions of these etudes. But it is a story, it is a journey of expression, and I hope that you will find your voice in this as well. See you in the next one.